नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़ाऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतु मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली वक़ुल रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मन। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व अला आलिहि व बारिक वसल्लम। Lesson number 47, Seal Nectar. Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam is the greatest benefactor of humanity. Verily you, O Muhammad, are at the exalted standard of character. Wa innaka la ala khulqin azim. No doubt he is the greatest good for greatest number of people. Today we will talk about his passionate mother. Her name, Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mother name is Amna binte Wahab. Her foster mother Halima Sadia, she took care of him until he was 6 years old. So he was returned to his own biological mother when 6 years old, and before that his open heart surgery took place while still in the care of Halima Sadia. We did that in the last video. His biological mother Amna binte Wahab, another foster mother Ayman, also named Baraka, and grandfather Abdul Muttalib. Together, they took Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Yasrib to see the mom's family. The old name for Medina was Yasrib, and there, while they stayed there for 30 days, and while coming back, Amna binte Wahab passed away at the place named Abwa. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was orphan because Abdullah, he died before his birth, also lost his mother only when he was 6 years old. Lesson learned. I don't know why it makes me feel so sad whenever I read his biography, and I come to this point. It just makes me feel cry. Even in ignorance, women of noble families, they were traveling with their mahrams. See, Amna binte Wahab was not traveling alone. She is with Abdul Muttalib, who is the father-in-law and a mahram relation. And this is the same ignorant period when if the mother she passes away, the son takes all the leftover wives of her father, and some kind of this kind of jahiliya ignorance was going on. They were having very good family values, which we can see they were practicing, and honor, and traveling especially with the mahram. Mom and dad family has equal importance in child life. These days, in our society, it's very, very common. Especially, the woman, she makes kids against dad's family, against dad. And sometime in some families, dad does do that. He makes kids against mom's family. So this is something we should call very, very unhealthy for child growth and development. and especially all the care which a child gets from all these relationships, like aunts and uncles and mom and dad family, they make child more bright and emotionally intelligent. But when we instill anger and jealousy and hatred, that is something which is practiced in the society. It's a bad cultural trait which should be eliminated for the healthy society. So, see, grandfather is taking his daughter-in-law and his own grandchild to see the mom's relative, and they're staying there over for 1 month. And we see in our families, this is something which is, some of the families, this is like, we have especially a Susrali culture, and in-laws are so taghuti kind of people, and we have our own rules, they don't match with the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we compare them with Sirah, especially, we don't see those things. Like at this point, you're not seeing Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam is only a child, and this is before the Bosat period. But how nicely they have some good golden values in the family. Nature nourishes orphans. Who was there? So, how we deal with orphans today? أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدْعُو الْيَتِيمَ وَلَا يُحِضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. So this is especially a lesson, learning lesson, that we treat orphans very bad. And the most successful person in the history, who was supremely successful at both religious and secular level, was an orphan. So we should think about it. Especially we should be very, very careful regarding orphan children. And one mistake I made in the last video, that I said that Halima Sa'diya took this orphan and he was a blessed child. And I said in the lessons that if you get an opportunity and if you have enough resources, this was a mistake I made. Even if you don't have any resources, never ever care and look even for resources. If you get this golden opportunity, adopt an orphan, treat that child like your own children, like your own biological children, and see, that might be a wonderful stroke for you, wonderful stroke of luck for you. The way this orphan child was a wonderful stroke of luck for Halima Sa'diya and for that whole town. We discussed that in the last video. Okay, the last lesson. Before elevation, there will be trials. In every single video, we will look for the trials this greatest human being is getting in the life since childhood. So whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to give elevation, a soul elevation and progression, definitely there will be a progression before elevation. Trials and tribulations, they must be the part of the plan of care from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just thinking that and making this, as a way to approach the problem, it solves and totally makes you look at a different angle and a different perspective, whatever situation you are in, and it changes the outcome. I'm gonna stop this video here. Inshallah, next time I will come with the lesson number 48, and we will talk about Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather. I'm going into too much tiny little bit details because this is Sira, and we are talking about the greatest good for greatest number of people, and we should look for we should go in depth, and we should look the incidences from different perspectives and different angles, so we can learn the lessons. And these are just 5 to 6 or 7 minute videos, and it's easy. And please bring your kids. There's a lot of lessons for the kids, these days our kids, they don't stay without cell phone, they don't stay without luxuries, they don't stay without chocolate milk and so much luxuries, and look at this, the greatest human being was without all these luxuries. So there's a lot to learn, and there is a lot we can talk about. I'm gonna stop it here. Inshallah, see you next time. Thank you very much for watching all these videos. I'm getting a lot of views on the Facebook, and it's very encouraging to me, and when I get the feedback. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayhi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.